All right, so what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel, man. It's your boy, and for this video, we're going to be doing a comparison between three of the most heavily utilized tier 2 passives currently in the game. Now, keep in mind that this comparison is simply going to be looking at their tier 2 passives and how much it offers in World Boss Ultimate individually and in comparison to each other, because I think it's quite interesting that Phil Coulson offers the additional damage to supervillain plus some additional crit rate, and I want to see if that is enough to make it so that you can do more damage with him as a support than you would using Nick Fury as a support if you were not using Nick Fury as a leader, which nobody does, but I thought it would be an interesting comparison nonetheless. Now keep in mind, this is not a comparison between how individually these characters perform when they're on their own and they're not being used as a support character, because if that was the case, Nick Fury would tower over all of them, seriously, over all of the support characters in the game, point blank period, because of the fact that he's offering so much, from the leadership to the fifth skill, which you can use to buff and then swap in another character to give them an 80% attack buff for 10 seconds, right? That offers so much, so freaking much. It's not even like, seriously, a joke. In addition to that, Nick Fury overall is just an amazing character, because with little to nothing invested in the character, my Nick Fury is strong enough to take down stage 60 Corvus like it's nothing, and he's still at level 60, right? And I see no reason to push him any further unless that Marvel decides to upgrade him later on in the future, right? So yeah, I'm not trying to compare these characters individually. I'm just trying to see which of the tier 2 passives offer the most amount of damage, because as you can see right here, Nick Fury's offering 55% more damage when you're up against supervillains, but for Shuri, she's offering 45% more damage to supervillains and a 35% damage reduction. And then we got Phil Coulson, who is the worst character here by far. Like, this guy is pure garbage, but nonetheless, he's a free-to-play legend because he's farmable, he's half cost, and he has this tier 2 passive right here, which offers a 45% damage buff against supervillains and a 20% guaranteed crit rate increase. So I want to see if with this guaranteed crit, he's able to offer enough damage to offset the fact that Nick Fury is offering 10% more damage dealt to supervillains. I know for sure that Shuri is going to be lagging behind both of them, but I'm curious to see what the gap looks like, and I'm sure some of you guys may be interested in that as well. Keep in mind though, Nick Fury towers above these guys in every aspect of the game, PvP and in PvE. Phil Coulson, no PvP use. Shuri, none. But Shuri, at the very least, because she has damage immunity and a couple life frames, she can be used in World Boss Ultimate. And on average, she can probably do around like stage 50 Corvus, right? Overall, Shuri's a good character, so I'm not trying to shit on her or anything like that. But nonetheless, boys, we're going to jump into some gameplay, and for today's video, we're actually going to be featuring my guy, Peter, right? And the reason why I chose him is because his crit rate is about where most people would have their crit rate if they're not trying to min-max their build. And the reason why the crit rate is important is because, right, this guy right here, he's offering 20% guaranteed crit rate, right? So I want to have as much crit rate as possible, but I didn't want to go super overboard because, like I said, most people, right, for the most part, will have about 50%. For if you're trying to min-max your build, you'll aim for like 65, obviously 75%. But on average, right, most people will be around the 50% mark. So that's why we're using Colossus. In addition to that, he doesn't have a damage proc, so I don't have to worry about messing up this comparison by proccing on a wrong skill or something like that. So yeah, that being said, let's jump into the gameplay and let's see what the differences looks like between these passives. We're gonna go with stage 2, and we're also gonna be using the Wasp here for her tier 2 passive, just to make sure that we don't get debuffed. So we're gonna start off with Shuri, and we're gonna try to see how fast we can push Thanos down to 15 bars, just like we did previously with the Thing. And we're just gonna come back with Phil Coulson and then with Nick Fury and see what the gap looks like. I might even do one with Nick Fury in the lead to see just how much more he's offering with the buff and everything. So yeah, man, let's jump in and see how this thing turns out. All right, let's do this. We're gonna use the exact same 3 skills, and we're just gonna face tank with Colossus. Let's just see how much damage we can do in about a minute or so. I was gonna say I'm surprised you haven't phased away yet. Okay, so we're just over 1 minute for this. Okay, so we're gonna call it a minute 05 just to be safe. A minute 05 with Shuri. So let's swap in Phil Coulson and let's see what the difference looks like. All right, let's see how much difference the guaranteed crit makes. So far, it looks like it's only like a few seconds. But let's see what it averages out to. Okay, canceled me. That's fine. That's fine. Okay, so it looks like it's about 5 seconds difference between Shuri and Phil Coulson because of the crit. Okay, let's see what the difference looks like with Nick Fury. Honestly, I was expecting it to be a lot more, right? But it might be because my crit rate isn't maxed out on Colossus, but that's fine. Let's use Nick Fury as a support, and then we'll come back and use him as a lead and support and see what the difference looks like overall. So it was about a minute with Phil Coulson. Then we got a minute 05 with Shuri. Okay. What is it going to be? Tornado. Okay. Canceled me out. That's fine. Gotta love the consistency. So we're coming up on that minute mark, and it looks like it's about the same or maybe a little bit worse than Phil Coulson, which is actually quite surprising. But let's be honest, nobody's gonna use Nick Fury and just use him as a support, right? But that was actually quite interesting. I was expecting Nick Fury to be a lot faster because of the extra 10% that he has over Phil Coulson. So it goes without saying, right? Nick Fury is gonna come out on top right here, no doubt. Where's Colossus? There we go. And we're also gonna pass the buff as well, just to see how much faster it is. Actually, you know what? I think I'm gonna do one without passing the buff at the beginning, and then we're gonna do another one after this. So we're not gonna pass the buff here. Let's just see with just the leadership in play. Okay, it looks like we're about 6 or so seconds faster. so far. Interesting, because we're doing so much more damage. He hasn't even gotten a chance to phase away yet. And yeah, we're solid 15 seconds faster with the leadership without the buff. So let's do that one more time. I know some of you guys may be annoyed, but if you're annoyed, you can just click off the video, right? I just want to see if with the buff being passed at the beginning of the fight, we can reduce that to even like maybe like 30 seconds instead of 45. All right, Colossus, do your thing. So we're definitely faster, but I want to see how it averages out in the end. And if he's going to just keep attacking and not phase like he did the last time. Nah, he's going to phase here. Oh, no, he did not. Is he going to phase now? No, he did not. Okay, so we're not that much further ahead by using the buff. Only like 3 or so seconds. And I used the exact same skills. So the buff definitely helps, but it only added like 3 seconds here for me at the very least, right? Anyways, boys, we're gonna wrap it up right here, man. Thank you guys so much for watching. I just wanted to do another comparison for you guys because I thought this was curious. I just wanted to see what the difference would look like using each of these characters in the support and yeah, leadership role for Nick Fury. So obviously Nick Fury was gonna win from the jump, but it's interesting to see what the gap looks like between somebody like Shuri and Phil Coulson. Anyways, boys, thank you guys so much for watching. All the love, all the support. Leave me your thoughts in the comments. And if you have another comparison in mind, hit me up, man. I'm all for it. You guys know I love it. And yeah, I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace.